Hello friends, today I'll discuss about cropping system. The concept of cropping system should all know. All the BSc AG students and MSc Agronomy students all should know the cropping system. So in today's class I'll discuss about cropping system and other related terminologies in this class. Okay, let's start. So what is cropping system? It is an important component of a farming system. It represents the cropping pattern used on a farm and their interaction with the farm resources, other farm enterprises and available technology which determine their makeup. This is cropping system. And cropping pattern means the proportion of area under various crops at a point of time in a unit area. It indicates the yearly sequence and spatial arrangement of crops and fallow on a given area. It is cropping pattern. There are several types of cropping systems are there, like monocropping, multiple cropping, double cropping. So monocropping, what is monocropping? Mono means single, one crop, one cropping. Monocropping refers to the growing of only one crop on a piece of land year after year. As for example, under rainfed condition, rice is grown year after year. That is, similar crop is grown year after year. It is called monocropping. Multiple cropping, growing two or more crops on the same piece of land in a calendar year, is known as multiple cropping. It is in the intensification of cropping in space and time dimensions. It includes the intercropping, mixed cropping, sequential cropping, etc. What is double cropping? Double means two. Growing of two crops in a year in sequence. It's called double cropping. Now comes the competition effect. Competition of intercrop species for light, nutrient, water, carbon dioxide and other growth factors. Generally, it happens when weeds are growing with the cultivated crop. So, definitely there will be a competition for resources between the cultivated crop and the weed species. This effect is called competition effect. And similarly, its opposite is complementary effect. The effect of one component on another which enhances the growth and productivity. For example, growing of maize and green gram. As green gram is a leguminous crop, it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. That fixed atmospheric nitrogen can be utilized by the standing maize. This is complementary effect. Now, intercropping. Intercropping is growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land with a definite row pattern. For example, growing maize and green gram in 2:1 ratio. That means 2 rows of maize, then green gram, then again 2 rows of maize, then 1 row of green gram. This is the row pattern and it is called intercropping. That is with a definite row pattern. Definite row pattern should be there in the intercropping system. But in case of mixed cropping, it is growing two or more crops simultaneously, but it is intermingled. The seeds are intermingled when it is shown without without any row pattern. It is a common practice in most of the dryland areas. Now, the sequence cropping. Sequence cropping can be defined as a growing of two or more crops in a sequence, not simultaneously, in a sequence. So, it is called sequence cropping. It is so two or more crops in a sequence on a same piece of land in a farming year. Okay, it is called sequence cropping. Parallel cropping. Parallel cropping is cultivation of such crops which have different natural habit and zero competition among them. That is, when black gram or green gram is grown with maize, there will be no competition among black gram or green gram with the maize. The nutrient requirement, the peak nutrient requirement or demand period for green gram is around 30 to 35 days after sowing, while it is in maize it is on 50 days after sowing. So there will be no competition effect on nutrients. Okay, that's why it is called parallel cropping. They both are grown parallelly. Multi-storage or multi-tiered cropping or multi-level cropping. Cultivation of two or more than two crops of different heights simultaneously on the same piece of land in a certain period. As per example is sugarcane, mustard and onion. These three crops have different height. So as there is a different height, different story, so that's why it is called multi-storied, like multi-storied building, it is multi-storied cropping. Okay, next. Now sustainable agriculture. What is sustainable agriculture? Sustainable agriculture is a form of agriculture aimed at meeting the needs of the present generation. As the population is growing day by day, so to meet the need of the present generation without endangering the resource base of the future generation. It is a practice of farming using principles of ecology, that is the study of relationship between organism and their environment. It has been defined as an integrated system of plant and animal production practices having a site specific application that will last over long term. So this is called sustainable agriculture. Long term effect should be there in agriculture. Crop rotation, the practice of planting a succession of crops in a field over a period of years. Rotation can maintain field fertility since different crops have different requirements. Different crops have different types of requirement, and they will use different soil nutrients, soil moisture and other factors, growth related factors. So excessive demands are not met of one nutrient, or as there is a requirement of water is different layers of water, they uptake from different layers. So that's why crop rotation is needed to make a balance in the soil. Agroforestry. Agroforestry is a collective name of land use system and practices in which woody perennials are deliberately integrated with the crops and animals on the same land management unit. The integration can be either in a spatial mixture or in a temporal sequence. There are normally both ecological and economic interaction between woody and non-woody components in agroforestry. Next, organic farming. Organic farming is a very much hot topic now. Recent burning topic is the organic farming, and government is promoting the organic farming among the farmers, and it is the form of agriculture that relies on the techniques such as crop rotation, using green manure, compost, biological pest control, and to maintain the soil productivity and control the pest on a farm by organic means. Organic farming excludes or strictly limits the use of the manufactured fertilizers, that is chemical fertilizer, chemical pesticides, which include the herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, etc., plant growth regulators such as hormones, livestock antibiotics, food additives, and genetically modified organism. Like we all know that Bt brinjal, that is Bacillus thuringiensis, is modified into the brinjal gene. So Bt brinjal is strictly prohibited in organic farming. It relies on the ecological process, biodiversity and cycle adapted to the local condition rather than the use of the inputs with adverse effects. This is organic farming. Now permaculture. Permaculture is an approach to create stable productive system that provide for human needs. It is a system of design where each element supports and feeds other elements, ultimately aiming at systems that are virtually self-sustaining and into which humans fit as an integral part. Now the deforestation. It is the removal of a forest or stand of trees where the land is thereafter converted into a non-forest use. That is from forest to non-forest area. Example of deforestation include conversion of forest land to farms, ranches or urban use. That's all for today. We'll see in the next video. Thank you.